Not a lot of people know about this formula. I've already labeled you as somebody who takes action. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Money Mondays. My name is Brandon Burns, and today I'm going to show you a very simple formula for selling from stage. Now, not a lot of people know about this formula, but it's genuinely something that anybody can learn and apply to become hyper effective at selling from stage. And I've personally closed multiple millions of dollars worth of product and service sales from stage. And I can tell you, A, it's not nearly as hard as you think it is. And B, it is by far the most efficient way to generate sales and revenue for your business. I'm all for booking sales calls and doing one-on-one sales, but the reality is if I can get 100, 500, 1,000 people into an audience and offer them a pitch all at once, that is way more efficient for my time. And because of some group psychology, it's actually more effective as well. So there's 4 things that you need to understand about pitching from stage. Number 1 is your pre-frames, all right? Now, when you actually do your pitch to your audience, whether this is a conference, a webinar, anything like that, when you actually do your pitch and you're offering a product or a service, you're going in to close the sale, that's maybe 50% of what will contribute to your overall conversions and sales. The other 50% is how are you spending the rest of that time with that captive audience? Now, of course, you've got to add value. You've got to deliver on whatever promise that you made to get them into the room in the first place. But the pre-frames that you lay out along the way are so important. Now, what is a pre-frame? A pre-frame is simply a statement that gets people in a psychological buying state. What we're trying to do with pre-frames is overcome an objection before the objection even arises. So before I actually pitch them an offer, before I give anybody the opportunity to buy anything, I want to put them in a buying state. And whatever objection might come up at the time of the pitch, I want to overrule that early on. All right. So if you've ever seen me host an event, I've done a lot of big events with over 10,000 people in the audience, these virtual events for people like ET and other big name influencers. If you've ever seen me host one of those events, you're almost always going to hear the same line from me super early on during the event. It's going to sound something like this. Hey, I just want to affirm each and every one of you in the room right now for being decision makers and action takers and showing that you are willing to invest in yourself and that you believe in yourself enough to make the investment, to show up and be intentional. So I want to affirm you. Go ahead and put 100 in the chat and give yourself a round of applause. Put those hundreds in the chat right now. All right. So what am I doing with a phrase or a statement like that? I'm labeling them as people who make decisions, so that later on, whether that's tomorrow or the next day, if it's a webinar, maybe an hour from now, whenever I hit them with that offer, I've already labeled you as a decision maker. I've already labeled you as somebody who does not hesitate to make decisions. That's going to come in handy when I ask you to make a decision about buying something from me. I've already labeled you as somebody who takes action. When you have an opportunity in front of you, you take action. I just labeled you as that. I already labeled you as somebody who invests in yourself. I've already labeled you as somebody who believes in yourself enough to take advantage of opportunities when you see them. And most of all, I just got you to physically affirm that you agree with me, that you agree that you're an action taker, you agree that you're a decision maker, you agree that you believe in yourself and that you invest in yourself. Why? Because I got you to affirm it by typing something in the chat, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I say a pre-frame. So if we get to the pitch and you might be thinking, well, I don't know, I need some time to think about it. That's a common objection. I need time to think about it. But we've already overcome that objection earlier on in the process. You can do this with money, right? We can start pre-framing these ideas around, hey, would you spend $1 to get 10? Would you invest $1 if you got 10 back, right? We're going to plant these ideas. We're going to have them affirm those ideas. And then later when we do our pitch, they're already pre-framed psychologically to be in a buying mood. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is something that I call a charging exercise. All right. Now, this is going to happen right before I dive into the actual pitch itself. Okay. A charging exercise is just getting people into an emotionally charged state. We all know that people buy using emotion and they justify using logic. All right. They buy with emotion and then they justify using logic. Now, what would that look like in a real scenario? If let's say I'm selling a fitness product, right? If I'm selling a fitness product, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them visualize the outcome that I'm going to offer them a chance to buy. So it might look something like this. I'm going to ask everybody to close their eyes. I'm going to put on some vibey background music. I'm going to say, I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself waking up, going to the bathroom in the morning and seeing yourself in the mirror and seeing you in the body that you've always dreamed of. I want you to imagine the energy that you wake up with. How are you energetically charged in the morning based on just the physical energy that you have because you've optimized your body, and the confidence that you have because you love the way that you look? When you walk into a room, how do you walk into that room with a new sense of confidence? When you walk into a room, how do other people look at you? How do your wife and your kids respect you differently because of the way that you look and because of the physique that you've built, because of the dedication and the commitment that you have exhibited? What changes for you? I want you to feel that. Feel that energy in your body. Look at it. See yourself, right? All right, so let's stop. Let's come out of the example here. The idea here is that I want to activate all of their senses. So visually, I'm getting them to see something in their mind's eye. I'm trying to get them to feel something in their body. I want them to feel the energy, the power, the strength, right? And then all I'm going to say is, hey, now that you've kind of had a taste of that, what that might be like, I'm going to give you the opportunity to invest in yourself and actually get that outcome. Because at the end of the day, whatever product or service that I'm offering you is going to be a way to get to that desired outcome that you have. But I want to get you in an emotionally charged state. And the way that I like to do that is to get them to visualize, to get them to feel what that desired outcome is going to be. If it was a financial product that I was selling, I'm going to have people envision what financial freedom would really look like for them, right? And same thing. Confidence. How do you interact with different people? How do other people see you when you pull up in that brand new car? Like, feel it. And then that's going to get them excited to hear about what you have to offer. Because I don't want to sell things to people who are not interested or don't want to hear about what I have to offer. I want to sell to people who are hyped, who are amped to hear about what I have to offer them and how I can help guide them in that transformation from where they are to where they want to be. All right. So that charging exercise is number 2. Number 3 is we got to throw in the logic. I always view sales as the logical emotional sandwich, right? Emotions, logic, emotion. So we just got them charged up emotionally. We've got them in a buying state. Now we have to get them into a point where they truly understand that this is a safe thing for them to do. It's all about psychological safety. What they're afraid of is spending their hard-earned cash and looking like an idiot for doing it. They don't want to spend their hard-earned cash and feel like, oh, well, I just went broke over this thing that didn't even help me in the first place. So we've got to logically walk them through, here's everything that's included, here's exactly how it works, here's a bunch of people just like you who have already gotten results, and here's why this is a great fit for you. The details matter, especially if you're selling high ticket. You can get away with like these $9.97 kind of pitches on a webinar, mostly with emotion. But if you are really going for the high ticket sales, the 10, the 20, the 30, the $40,000 sales, you need to give people a solid understanding of here is why and how you're actually going to get that outcome that you desire. All right. So the logical, detailed walkthrough is super important. I will spend an hour when I pitch for ET and we sell a $40,000 mastermind product. It's a 45 to 60 minute pitch because I'm really just walking it down. Here's everything that you get, and here's why it's worth what I'm telling you it's worth. And here's why I know it's going to work for you, and just walking them through that. Super, super important. Last but not least, we need to finish off our emotional sandwich with an emotional call to action. Whenever I am pitching for ET, for example, my final story, I always tell the story about when him and I were at Oakwood College in Huntsville, Alabama, and he's obviously super, super famous. He just got off stage speaking at Oakwood, and there's hundreds of people trying to mob him in the hallway, and people are asking him for pictures and autographs and all sorts of stuff. And one couple comes up to them and talks about how they found their daughter's suicide note a couple of days ago. And thankfully, everything is okay. They got her the help that she needed, but they were obviously in a really rough spot. And I tell the story about how E.T. took that couple, put them in a utility closet. That was the nearest isolated space that we could find. Me, E.T., and that couple went into a utility closet and prayed together. And then he gave both of them his personal cell phone number and said, call me if you need anything. And then I say, hey, who do you want on your team? Because remember, we're selling a mastermind product. Who do you want on your team? Who do you want in your corner? It's an emotional call to action, right? And it's not manipulative because it's the truth. Like, that actually happened, and that is a real testament to E.T.'s character. It's a real testament to, yo, this is somebody that you want in your corner, not just because of what he can do for your business, but because of who he is, right? But again, if you can just dip into your motivational speaker bag just a little bit, and at the end of your pitch, leave people with that goosebump feeling of, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for. This product, this offer, this is exactly what I need. And the people that are behind it, the people that are shepherding me and helping me through this transformation, these are exactly the people that I need. If you can leave them with that feeling, you will have no problem selling at a very, very high level. So again, 4 steps, pre-frames, charging exercise, really logical, detailed walkthrough of the offer and the product itself, and then an emotional call to action at the very end. If you can do those 4 things, you can sell millions and millions of dollars from stage. I promise you, anybody can learn how to do it, and it is more accessible to you than you probably have ever thought. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Money Mondays. If you liked it, be sure to share this with somebody else who might get some value from it. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, notifications, all the YouTube-y things. My name is Brandon Burns. You can check out more of my stuff at iamburns.com. I got coaching, I got books, I got podcasts, all sorts of stuff going on. I would love to have you as part of the family. But as always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode of Money Mondays. Peace.